What if I told you that your daily walk, the one you've been faithfully doing for months or even years, might not be doing enough to keep your body truly strong after 70? I know, you've been told walking is the gold standard. And don't get me wrong, it's good. It gets your blood flowing, clears your mind, and keeps your joints from stiffening up. But here's something most people don't realize until it's a little too late. After a certain age, just walking may no longer be enough. In fact, it might even give you a false sense of security. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that despite your regular walks, climbing the stairs is getting harder? Maybe standing up from a chair feels like a workout, or your balance just isn't what it used to be. That's because aging changes how your body needs to move. And simply walking doesn't work all the muscles that are critical for keeping you upright, steady, and safe. It doesn't strengthen your bones the way you need. And it certainly doesn't prepare you for those moments when life catches you off guard, like when you slip on a rug or need to carry groceries up a few steps. Now here's the part that might surprise you. There are 7 simple exercises. Some you can do from your couch, some in your hallway, and others with just a wall or a chair, that doctors are now quietly recommending instead of walking alone. Not because walking is bad, but because these 7 exercises give your body something more. More balance, more strength, more coordination, more protection, and more chances to stay independent for long. These movements don't require a gym membership or fancy equipment. You don't even need to break a sweat. But what they do give you is the power to keep doing the things you love. Cooking your own meals, walking without fear of falling, playing with your grandkids, even getting up from the floor without needing someone's hand. I'm serious. Some of these movements are so effective, even doctors were shocked at the research behind them. And one in particular? You can do it sitting down. That one alone could improve your heart health more than a brisk walk. So in this video, I'm walking you through all 7 of them, step by step, so you can choose the one that fits your body best right now. Stick with me to the end because I promise, the last one is something so powerful, it's being used in senior centers across the world to cut fall risk in half. And listen, you don't need to do them all today. Just one small shift can make a difference. You're not behind. You're not too old. Your body still wants to move, and more importantly, it wants to thrive. So go ahead, take a deep breath. Roll your shoulders. And get ready to discover the exercises that might just change how you age, for the better. Comment, "I'm ready to move," below if you're committed to aging well and staying independent. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe to Age Well Tips for Seniors. Because this isn't just a channel. It's a community. A place where growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser, stronger, and more in control of your health than ever before. Let's get started. Let's start with something simple, yet incredibly powerful. Chair squats, the hidden strength builder. Now picture this for a moment. You're sitting on your favorite couch, maybe reading the paper or watching your afternoon show. Then it's time to get up and grab a cup of tea. You lean forward, brace your hands on your thighs, and push. And maybe it takes a little more effort than you'd like. Maybe your knees ache. Maybe your thighs feel weak. Or maybe, just maybe, you pause for a moment because you're not quite sure you'll make it up in one go. Does this sound familiar? You're not alone. But here's the thing. This everyday movement, getting up from a seated position, is actually one of the most important indicators of strength and independence as we age. And the good news is that you can train for it. That's where chair squats come in. Now don't let the word squat scare you. When you do a chair squat, you're working the exact muscles that help you get up safely, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, your glutes. These are the muscles that help you walk without wobbling, stand without swaying, and catch yourself if you ever lose your balance. And here's something doctors are noticing more and more. People who practice simple chair squats a few times a week are more likely to stay mobile, avoid falls, and even reduce the need for assistive devices like walkers. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that too much pressure on my knees? Actually, no. If done slowly and correctly, and with a stable chair squats are incredibly safe. In fact, they're gentler than climbing stairs or doing lunges. The key is to listen to your body and to use support when needed. Start like this. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Place your hands on your thighs, or reach them straight in front of you for balance. Then gently push through your heels and stand up. Then pause. Then slowly lower yourself back down. That's 1 rep. Aim for 10 a day. Just 10. And if you need to hold on to something for support, a countertop, a walker, the back of another chair, do it. There's no shame in being safe. Each time you do this, you're telling your muscles, "I'm still in control. I'm still strong. I'm not giving up my freedom without a fight." It's one of the most empowering things you can do, and it only takes 2 minutes. But strength alone isn't enough. Because what good is strong muscle if your joints are stiff? If your hips won't move the way they used to? If your legs don't lift when you need them to? That's why our next movement is all about flexibility, and yes, you can do it without even leaving your chair. Let's talk about the seated leg raise, and why your hip flexors might be the silent reason you're feeling weaker on your feet than you should. Stay with me. This next part might surprise you. Let's paint a picture together. You're sitting in your favorite armchair. Maybe there's a cozy blanket over your lap, your afternoon tea is warm in your hands, and your favorite show is playing softly in the background. But guess what? Even in that quiet, peaceful moment, your body can still be working for you. That's the beauty of seated leg raises. You don't need a gym. You don't need weights. You don't even need to get up from your chair. All you need is your legs, your breath, and a little awareness. Because here's the thing, one of the first muscle groups to weaken as we get older is something we hardly ever think about, our hip flexors. They're the muscles that help lift your legs when you walk, when you climb a step, or when you're getting into the car. And when they start to weaken, little things begin to feel harder. You might notice your knees don't lift as high. Your stride gets shorter. You feel slower, a little more unsteady. And that's where seated leg raises can quietly, gently build you back up. Now, don't let the simplicity fool you. This exercise works your lower abs, hips, and thighs, all crucial for balance and safe walking. A lot of folks think, well, I'm sitting, how much good could that possibly do? But here's what most people don't realize. Even small, seated motions wake up the body. They improve circulation, keep the joints lubricated, and tell your muscles, hey, we're still needed. And when your muscles feel needed, they stick around. They support you. They protect you. So here's how to do it, and I'll walk you through it slowly. Sit up tall in your chair. Scoot forward just a bit so your feet are flat on the ground and your back is upright, not leaning. Now slowly lift your right leg just a few inches off the ground, keeping your knees straight. Hold it for 3 full seconds. Feel that slight burn in your thigh? That's the strength of waking up. Then gently lower it back down. Now switch sides. Left leg up. Hold. 1, 2, 3, and down. That's 1 on each side. Try to do 2 sets of 10, 10 on the right, 10 on the left. You can split it up across the day if that feels better. And hey, it's totally okay if you only start with 5. The magic isn't in the number, it's in the habit. This isn't just about movement, it's about reclaiming power over your body. Every lift you make, no matter how small, is a reminder that your health is still in your hands. And here's a little bonus tip. If your ankles tend to swell, this movement can help reduce fluid buildup and keep your blood moving. So the next time you're flipping through channels or sipping on your tea, sneak in a few leg raises. No one even has to know you're exercising. But we're not done just yet. Because while we're working the legs, there's another area that often gets overlooked. Your arms. And I want you to think for a second. When's the last time you reached overhead with confidence? Or lifted a heavy pot without struggling? Or wrapped your arms around someone you love without feeling weak or shaky? Your upper body carries more than groceries. It carries connection. It helps you hug, wave, support yourself, open jars, pull yourself up. It keeps you independent in ways you may not have thought about lately. So now, let's move to something that'll help you rebuild that strength gently and safely, with nothing more than a wall. Let me show you how wall push ups can give your arms, shoulders, and chest the boost they need, without stressing your joints. You'll be amazed how much power is still in those arms of yours. We just have to invite it back. Let's do it together. Let's talk about something simple, but incredibly powerful. And no, it doesn't involve weights, gyms, or fancy machines. Just a wall. That's right, the same wall in your living room, hallway, or kitchen can actually become your training partner. Let me tell you about one woman I spoke to, a grandmother named Joyce. Joyce used to love hosting Sunday tea for her grandkids. She'd pour the tea herself, arrange the cookies, and pass around the little cups like clockwork. But over time, she noticed her hands trembling more. Her arms felt weaker. One day she couldn't even lift the teapot. I felt embarrassed, she told me, like I was slowly fading out of the things I loved. But then her doctor showed her a simple exercise, wall push-ups. And just a few weeks later, Joyce was back at the head of the table, pouring tea like the queen she is. And this time she didn't just feel stronger physically, she felt capable again. Like her body was showing up for her instead of holding her back. Now I know what you might be thinking. Push-ups? Aren't those for people in boot camp? Not these. Wall push-ups are gentle, supportive, and totally manageable, even if you've got arthritis, frozen shoulders, or haven't done any upper body exercise in years. Here's why they matter. Your arms, shoulders, and chest muscles do more than lift things. They help you push yourself up from a chair. Catch yourself if you trip. Open jars, carry bags, hold grandchildren, and even hug without pain or struggle. Walking alone won't give you that kind of strength, not in your upper body. But wall push-ups? They meet you where you are. And they work wonders. Let's break it down together. Stand about an arm's length away from any sturdy wall. Not too close, not too far. Place your palms flat on the wall at chest height. Now slowly bend your elbows and lean in, like you're trying to whisper something to the wall. Then press back out, steady and controlled. That's 1. Don't rush it. Let your muscles feel the work. Do 10 slow reps to start. And if that feels like too much, just do 5. Or even 3. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress. You'll be amazed how much stronger your arms feel after just a few sessions. And before long, lifting that teapot, or your grandchild, won't feel like a struggle. It'll feel natural again. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to carve out special exercise time to do this. Waiting for the kettle to boil? Do a few wall push-ups. On hold during a phone call? Sneak in a set. Every small effort adds up. And don't forget, this isn't just about strength. It's about staying capable. It's about feeling safe in your own body. It's about not having to ask for help every time you want to reach, lift, or carry something that once felt easy. Now, so far we've worked the legs, the hips, the arms, and the core. But there's one part of the body that's often overlooked, until something scary happens. I'm talking about your ankles, your balance. That split-second moment when you trip on the edge of a rug, and your body either catches you, or it doesn't. Falls are one of the biggest risks as we age, and they can happen so fast. But there's a simple movement that strengthens your body's ability to stay upright, to catch itself, and to stay balanced, even when life throws you off track. It's called heel-to-toe walking, and it could be the difference between a stumble and a serious fall. Let me show you how to do it, safely and with confidence. You'll thank yourself for learning this one. Let's take a moment, and imagine something many of us have experienced. You're walking down the stairs. Maybe you're carrying a bag or your attention drifts just for a second. And suddenly your foot doesn't land where it should. Your ankle twists. Your arms flail to catch the railing. And your heart jumps into your throat. Even if you catch yourself, the fear lingers. And if you don't, one small misstep can lead to a long and painful recovery. Broken hips, hospital stays, long nights in a rehab bed. It's not just the fall itself that's dangerous. It's what the fall takes away, your confidence, your independence, and your freedom to move without fear. But what if I told you, you could train your body not to fall? Not by doing anything extreme. Not by buying expensive equipment. Just with one simple, focused movement. It's called heel-to-toe walking, and it's a balance builder. Now I know the name might sound a little silly at first. Isn't that what toddlers do when they're pretending to be on a tightrope? But here's the truth. Heel-to-toe walking is one of the most effective tools used by physical therapists to retrain the body's balance system. Because balance isn't just about muscles, it's about proprioception. That's a fancy word for your body's ability to sense where it is in space. It's what tells your feet how high to lift. It's what helps your brain know where the ground is. And it's what allows you to correct yourself when you're just slightly off. As we get older, proprioception naturally declines, unless we train it. And heel-to-toe walking is like a wake-up call to your balance system. It tells your body, stay sharp, stay steady, stay ready. So let's try it right where you are. Find a hallway or a clear path in your home. Stand tall. Now take one step forward, placing the heel of your foot directly in front of the toes of your other foot. Like you're walking on a thin line. Go slowly. Feel your body adjust with each step. Take about 10 slow, deliberate steps forward. If you feel wobbly, that's okay. It's part of the process. You can always place your hand gently on the wall or a countertop for support. The goal here is not speed, it's control. With each step, you're reteaching your body how to stay balanced. You're strengthening the tiny stabilizing muscles in your ankles, your knees, your hips. You're rebuilding trust with your body. And let me tell you, the confidence that comes from this is no small thing. Because when you feel steady, you walk differently. You move with more certainty. You don't hesitate or shuffle nervously. You live with less fear. So don't laugh this one off. Just 5 minutes a day could make the difference between a small stumble and a serious injury. And once you've made this a habit, walking through your home will start to feel like walking through familiar ground again. Like your body knows exactly what to do. Now, so far we've moved our legs, lifted with our arms, and trained our balance. But what if I told you that you could improve your health without any movement at all? No lifting, no stepping, no squatting. Just a small, simple action, sitting still, that can quietly improve your blood pressure, your vascular health, and even help you feel calmer and more in control. Yes, I'm serious. It's called isometric hand squeezing, and it's one of the most overlooked tools in senior wellness. Let me explain how it works and why even cardiologists are starting to take it seriously. Stick with me. This one might just be your favorite. Now this next one might just surprise you. In fact, it's already surprising doctors. Not because it's difficult, not because it's new, but because it's so incredibly simple, and yet so powerful. It's called isometric hand squeezing, and if you've never heard of it before, you're not alone. But trust me, after this you'll never look at a tennis ball the same way again. Here's the story. A group of researchers conducted a study, one that didn't get a lot of headlines but probably should have. They gathered a group of older adults, many of them dealing with high blood pressure. No big workout programs. No medication changes. Just one small daily task. Squeeze a hand grip device or a soft ball for a few seconds at a time. And that's it. Weeks later, the results shocked even the physicians running the trial. Blood pressure dropped significantly, in some cases as much as what you'd expect from medication. And not just for a few minutes, the effects were lasting. Now how can that be? How can squeezing something in your hand help your heart? It comes down to something called vascular tone. See, when you perform an isometric movement, which means holding your muscles tight without actually moving a joint, it sends a signal through your nervous system. Your blood vessels get the message. They respond by becoming more elastic, more efficient, more stable under pressure. Literally, it's like telling your entire circulatory system, wake up, get stronger, stay flexible. Now, I know, this sounds almost too good to be true. It's such a tiny movement. And maybe you're thinking, really? Just squeezing something? Yes, because consistency is what turns simple actions into life-changing ones. Here's how to do it. Grab something soft but firm. A stress ball, a tennis ball, even a rolled-up sock will do. Sit comfortably. Rest your hand on your thigh or armrest. Now squeeze the ball, not so hard that it hurts but firmly enough to feel it. Hold the squeeze for 10 seconds. Then release and rest for 10 seconds. Do this 5 times per hand. That's it. No sweat. No impact on joints. No equipment beyond what you probably already have at home. But over time, that little squeeze could help improve circulation, lower stress, and yes, even support better heart health. It's something you can do while watching TV, waiting in a doctor's office, or sitting in the car. No one even has to know you're doing it. And here's a bonus. This movement also strengthens the muscles in your hands and forearms, making it easier to open jars, grip utensils, or hold onto rails when you walk. Small motion, big result. Now we've talked about exercises that build your strength, your flexibility, your coordination, even your heart health. But there's one practice I want to share with you. And this one is different, because it doesn't just work your body, it works your mind. It brings your breathing, your balance, and your thoughts all into harmony. This practice has been used for centuries to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, improve mobility, and even sharpen focus. It's graceful. It's meditative. It's gentle on your joints and powerful for your spirit. And it just might be the most important movement of them all. Let's talk about Tai Chi, the ancient art that's now being prescribed in modern clinics. You're going to love this one. Let me tell you about a small senior center in Oregon. Every morning, a group of older adults would gather in the community room or outside on the lawn, bundled in jackets if it was chilly, gripping their coffee mugs, ready to begin their usual morning walk. But one day something changed. Their director introduced a new program, Tai Chi. At first, a few people scoffed. It's too slow. It looks like dancing in molasses. It's not real exercise. But they gave it a try. Just 10 minutes, then 15, then 20. And within just 3 months, something remarkable happened. Fall rates dropped dramatically. People who used to hold onto railings were walking more confidently. Folks who struggled with joint pain were moving with more ease. And something else began to shift, not just in their bodies but in their spirit. You could see it in the way they stood a little taller, moved with more grace, and smiled with a quiet sort of peace that only comes from reconnecting with your own rhythm. That's the power of Tai Chi. Let's talk about the science behind it. Unlike walking, which focuses primarily on cardio and movement, Tai Chi engages multiple systems at once. It improves joint mobility by moving through a full range of motion. It enhances balance by requiring constant shifts in weight. It supports breathing by coordinating movement with breath, deepening your oxygen intake and calming your nervous system. And perhaps most remarkably, it stimulates cognition, helping with memory, mental focus, and even reducing symptoms of anxiety. It's like giving your entire being a tune-up. And yes, I've heard the same reaction over and over, but isn't Tai Chi just slow motion dancing? Not quite. Every movement in Tai Chi is deliberate, intentional, and sequenced. It's structured in a way that retrains your brain to connect with your body. And while it may look gentle, it's a full-body experience. The kind that restores instead of drains. Here's how to get started. You don't need a uniform. You don't need incense. You don't even need to leave your home. All you need is an open space and a willingness to begin. Search for Beginner Tai Chi for Seniors on YouTube. There are excellent free instructors who will guide you through simple, flowing sequences. Or if you feel up to it, check if your local community center or senior group offers Tai Chi classes. Many do, and many are free. Start with just 10 minutes a day. That's it. 10 quiet minutes. No pounding joints. No breathless sweating. Just a calm, graceful practice that reconnects you to your body, one movement at a time. And before long, you may find your posture improving. Your steps become more steady. Your thoughts are a little more clear. And your heart is a little more full. Because Tai Chi isn't just about physical health. It's about presence. It's about peace. And it's about feeling at home in your body again. Now, we've covered 6 exercises today. They might seem small on paper. A squat here. A leg raises there. A wall push-up, a hand squeeze, a tightrope walk, a slow motion flow. But let me be clear. Their impact? Anything but small. These are the movements that protect your independence. That keeps you out of the hospital. That allows you to reach, stand, breathe, balance, and live fully, not just longer but better. And now you've got them in your toolbox. But before we end, I want to speak to your heart for a moment. Because I know this journey isn't always easy. Let's talk about what all this really means, not just for your body but for your spirit. Stay with me. What comes next matters more than you think. Now this one doesn't get talked about much, but it should. Because posture, the way you hold your head, your shoulders, your spine, says a lot about how your body is aging. And more importantly, how you feel inside your body. Ever notice how aging sometimes brings a forward tilt? The chin drops, shoulders rounded, back starts to hunch. And before you know it, you're walking not just slower but smaller. But here's the good news. There's a simple way to begin reversing that, gently, and it takes less than 2 minutes. It's called the Neck and Posture Reset, and it helps release tension in your neck and upper back, while retraining your muscles to support healthy posture. Here's how to do it. Sit or stand tall with your shoulders relaxed. Slowly tuck your chin back, like you're making a subtle double chin. Not down, not up. Just back. You'll feel a stretch at the base of your skull. That's good. Hold for 5 seconds, then release. Repeat 5 to 10 times. Next, gently roll your shoulders back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Hold for 5 seconds and release. Repeat 5 times. This combination helps lengthen the spine, reduce pressure on your neck, and realign your upper body, which improves not just how you feel, but how you move through the world. It reduces tension headaches. It improves balance by recentering your head over your spine. It opens your chest, which helps with breathing and digestion. And it lifts your posture, which quietly lifts your confidence. Because when you carry yourself upright, you feel stronger. You look more vibrant. And your body functions better. No heavy lifting. No complicated moves. Just a little awareness, and a whole lot of benefits. Add this one into your day, perhaps right after brushing your teeth or making your morning tea. Let it be a loving reset for your spine, your neck, and your mood. And remember, how you carry yourself is how the world sees you. Stand tall. You've earned it. Let's be honest. Watching strength fade, whether in someone we love or in ourselves, it's one of the hardest things to witness. It doesn't happen all at once. It's quiet. One day you can carry the laundry upstairs. The next, you hesitate. One moment your loved one is gardening with joy. The next, they're watching from the porch too tired to bend down. And when those little pieces of ability start slipping away, it can feel like losing pieces of freedom. Bit by bit. It's not just physical. It touches your confidence, your identity, your sense of control. But here's what I want to tell you, what I hope you take to heart today. You're not powerless. Not even close. Because movement is medicine, and it's never too late to begin again. And no, I'm not talking about running marathons or doing high-impact workouts. I'm talking about simple, thoughtful, doable movements that speak to your body in a language it still understands. You can reclaim control. Every squat you attempt. Every step you steady yourself through. Every quiet, mindful motion you practice. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Pick just one of the 6 exercises we talked about today. Not all of them. Not perfectly. Just one. Try it tomorrow. Then again the next day. Notice how you feel. Let these movements be your reminder that hope is still in reach, that healing happens in motion. Those small steps can still carry you forward, wherever you want to go. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel steady. You deserve to feel proud of the work you're doing, even when no one else sees it. And I see you. I believe in what's still possible for you. Let's walk the next chapter together, with purpose, with love, and with movement. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a moment to look back and remind ourselves of everything you've just gained. Because this isn't the end, it's just the beginning. Let's recap together and talk about what happens next. Let's take a deep breath together and look back at everything you've learned today. We started with a simple question: is walking enough after 70? And what we discovered was, there's so much more you can do. More ways to move. More ways to strengthen. More ways to protect your balance, your heart, your joints, your brain, and even your confidence. So to recap, the 6 exercises that are surprisingly more powerful than walking alone are: chair squats, for building leg strength to rise and move with power; seated leg raises, to support your hips and improve mobility from the comfort of a chair; wall push UPS, to bring strength back into your arms and shoulders, no equipment needed; heel-to-toe walking, to sharpen your balance and prevent dangerous falls; isometric hand squeezes, to lower blood pressure and improve grip, even while sitting still; Tai Chi, the mind-body miracle that gently restores mobility, calm, and clarity; and of course, neck and posture reset, the quiet hero that helps you walk taller, breathe deeper, and feel more centered every day. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these exercises are you most excited to try? Or maybe you've already been doing one, and it's made a difference in your life. Either way, I'd love to read your story in the comments. This isn't just about fitness, it's about connection. So go ahead and scroll down, share your thoughts. You never know who your words might inspire. And if this video helped you feel even a little more hopeful today, if it gave you something to try, something to look forward to, then I invite you to hit that subscribe button and join our community here at Age Well Tips for Seniors. Because here we don't believe in giving up. We believe in growing forward, in finding joy in motion, and in making the rest of life the best of life. You're not aging in place. You're aging in motion, with purpose, with power, and with people who care. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next video.